role, or Pakistan attempts to use aerial power, we are already seeing extremely heavy firing that's happening on the line of control. So my own sense, and I could be proved wrong, is that it's going to heat up a little more before it cools down.
So, how far up the chain can they go? I mean, I stopped at scrambling jets, but what after that? I mean, do they start moving your mechanized divisions, your armored divisions? Eventually, do they start moving infantry? I mean, at what point of this ladder do both sides get off? And what does it take for Pakistan to get off? Because I think it's clear that, at least from whatever publicly the Indian government officials are saying, we are only responding to what they're doing.
Absolutely. We've said that we do not wish to escalate this. However, the Pakistan military would be under tremendous pressure to show some success. I mean, they've been struck in their heartland, which is Punjab, and they would be under tremendous pressure that how are you going to respond to that? Having said that, I also think they'll be cautious about, look, we don't want this to escalate to such an extent, which could lead to what is an absolute ruinous war for them. And again, we can only speculate. I would think, some sort of a demonstrative attack to say, look, we have this capability and capacity to respond to, the Indian attack that has happened. We have not just quietly stood by and accepted what India has done. You could see some demonstrative kind of a strike, a demonstrative kind of an attack to say, look, this is what we can do. Does that provide an off-ramp, for both countries? Really, my sense is the ball is completely in Pakistan's court. And they have to now take a decision as to whether they want to escalate this further or they want to sort of calm it down.
All right.
So, depending on what they do is, I think how we will see this crisis play out.
All right, General Huda, it's always a pleasure listening to you, your thoughts and your perspective. And I think, you would have enlightened a lot of our viewers because everybody's curious to know, I mean, are we at the brink of full-fledged war? What happens next? Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so what happened last night? We know that there was this swarm of drones, close to 400 of them, 36 different cities in the northern and western part of India were targeted. But how were they thwarted? Not one of them ended up damaging. There were certainly no, casualties in terms of injuries to folks or even fatalities for that matter. But what exactly did India use in its air defense system to thwart these attacks? India, of course, has a huge edge over Pakistan when it comes to the air defense system. So the L-70, which is developed by the Bofors company, the Bofors Arms company, produced under its license here in India. It's a 40mm gun. It's modernized with radars, electro-optical sensors. It also has an auto-tracking system. And at one given point of time, in a minute, it can fire anywhere between 250 and 300 rounds. It's got a range of up to 4,000 meters, that's 4 kilometers. The L-70 also excels in anti-drone warfare, saturating the sky with predictive fire and making it effective against exactly what we saw last night, these drone swarm attacks. Then you have the Shilka, which is a self-propelled system. It's like a self-propelled gun, like your SH howitzers. It's got 4 23mm autocannons that are guided by radar detecting targets. It can detect targets up to 20 kilometers away. It can unleash up to 4,000 rounds per minute. So it's like almost cluster ammunition. Now it's been upgraded with proximity fuse ammunition and it's got advanced fire control systems. So basically, again, what it does is a counter swarm to a swarm of drones. The Shilka's rapid fire and radar precision make it lethal against UAVs, helicopters, and light armored vehicles. It's also a weapon of last resort, if you will, against, for protecting air bases, moving convoys, as well as sensitive installations. Now, the big question that's being asked is, can Pakistan, and clearly it's Pakistan that's climbing up the escalatory ladder, but how far can they go? And can they afford to do this economically? The last few nights have witnessed heavy artillery shelling. It's in fact happening right now across the line of control. In fact, the last few days it was both the line of control as well as the international border. Pakistan seems to be in no mood to fall back, but their economy cannot handle the strain of war, certainly not beyond a few days. It's been battered by inflation, there is massive debt, there's dependency, of course, on the IMF, and right now, even as we speak, they've gone to the IMF with a begging bowl. Another tranche of over $1 billion is due right now in Washington. So the question is, the ongoing tensions that have been amplified by Operation Sindoor, the Indus water treaties put in abeyance, all of this has hugely disrupted trade and investor confidence in Pakistan. It is almost an economic existential risk. It's a very small economy, just barely $350 billion. India, on the other hand, is a $4 trillion economy, more than 10 times the size. So a $350 billion economy does not have the shock absorption capacity, whether it's